Hello everybody, this is Monstertaming coming at you with another Kindred Fates newsletter. This is November 19th newsletter. So we're going on to, first off, we have a little bit of news with Combat Arena Alpha. We're internally testing the latest Combat Arena Alpha patch with all its changes. The first few internal builds of this patch were pretty funky, but we're working on issues and plan to release patch 2.2 once we have it working. Won't be long now. This week we made balance changes to many familiar abilities as well as improvements to new ones. We fixed issues such as Rush and Pilfer's starting animation taking too long, Kinfolk getting stuck in animation loop when they were staggered, Shield not being invoked correctly, and additionally we've made some long requested adjustments to burn and poison status effects work. Pretty much everything here is something to be excited for. Um, Animation is basically a buff to Rush and Pilfer. I think both of them could definitely live with a buff. Uh, the animation loop when staggered is obviously a good thing to get rid of. Um, uh, Tweaks the shield to make it a little more user friendly, and I'm extremely interested to see what they did to burn and poison because I've been advocating for changes to those for quite some time. My guess, the most basic thing that they could do is just put them on a timer, but we'll see. So for single player, we've added logic and VFX for key items that immediately uh, returns one Kinfolk Soul Flame to human character when it falls combat. Added 3 more cutscenes to the game's story. With these, all the cutscenes for First Nation are complete. This also involved dialogue fixes and change for in-game conversations. NPCs get a lot of polish this sprint. The biggest change was implementing some mesh links in our pathfinding solution, allowing them to traverse over gaps in the nav mesh, which this means jump over obstacles across gaps, down ledges. It's surprising how much it added life to the game. Here's an example of what it looks like. You can see that they have the little idea of following you around over stuff. So it's like if you like running in the full terrain, they can still keep up with you and chase after you. I think that's pretty interesting myself. They improved the system in which NPCs shout at you, so better context to their current situation. For example, they have something different to say and see for the first time, opposed to after they've been fighting with you for a while. At the moment, there will be about a dozen different AI states to have their own unique dialogue, and we'll continue building on it. I love the idea of that. Like, if a kinfolk beats you and then you come back later to get your kinfolk's flames back or something, they could taunt you about it, or if you were about to kill them and then they somehow escaped from you, like ran away or something, you see them again, you could special things to say about that, and just various different things like that. It sounds really cool to me, and I think it'll add a lot of depth to the game. Added a stopping distance for melee NPCs so they actively maintain a good distance for the player to land their melee attacks. Added some changes to the combat branches of existing NPC kinfolk, largely to make them easier to fight in the level areas. The combat music used to start when NPC entered the suspicious state. We've changed it to start when they enter combat. It's much better fit. All NPCs in the world can now roam around their respective areas as players explore, so it really looks cool in the distance at night and see a herd of Lumala wandering around together. Yep, that does sound pretty cool. Added a ton of new SFX to the single player game, The Sprint. Gladius, Gallivant, Starman, Auburn now have voices. There's a jingle that plays when you start a new mission, and windmills make noise when you get close to them. On top of the additional terrain sculpting, we've made some changes to the underlying terrain systems. We generated low poly meshes for many trains. For many of the train tiles we've been focusing on, this means that the farther away the areas look, the more like the close ones again, and have all the new work our train teams put in. Improve the efficiency and reliability of our world streaming solutions. We previously had the circumstances we get confused about exactly where the player is, and you'd notice problems like pop up became pretty severe. This change greatly improved that. We had previously attempted to add grass bending, but it caused problems with some of the other systems, so we had to revisit. We had to shelve it for the time. This week we've added support and implemented it correctly. Now the grass moves on the character's feet as they walk through it. Makes it easier to spot kinfolk in the tall grasslands. And then last but not least, the Kindred Fates tournament Discord server has a tournament coming up in the Combat Arena Alpha. It takes place December 4th. Celebration of the Alpha's anniversary. For signups and more information, join that Discord server. Thanks for stopping by, friends. We'll see you next time on December 3rd. So yeah, I think that's a pretty cool idea. Like the kinfolk are going to be moving the grass as they walk through and everything like that. Also, if you're interested at all, even in the slightest, in combat, please stop by and check out the tournament. Maybe join, maybe watch. Anything would be appreciated. But until next time, this is Monstertaming signing off. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. God bless. See you next time. Bye bye.